Hi everyone, thank you for joining us again. This is a new live for you, and what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be looking at about 5 or 6 properties in Accra, Ghana. Again, we're going to be looking at apartments, 5 or 6 apartments. So if you're new to this, definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Now, after we get through looking at the 5 or 6 Ghana apartments, all under 100k, and again, just remember, the reason why we're looking at Ghana apartments, just apartments in general, is because the idea is to find the cheapest way, if you like, to begin slowly to relocate to the African continent. And I want to make it clear, this is a men's channel. The idea is I support men who are looking for self-actualization and, generally speaking, a better quality of life, more respect. Black men that are looking for more respect outside of the West. If you've lived all your life in the West like me, and you are ready for a new challenge, a new life really, and you've got the means to afford it, then this is the channel for you. We look at property amongst other stuff. We do look at other bits and pieces as well, but property, earning money from property, investing in property, and generally speaking, finding a place to live is what this channel is all about initially and at the moment. Again, I would say for me, I focus on the African continent, but wherever you feel appreciated, men, that might be Asia, that might be South America, that might even be the Caribbean, anywhere where you feel appreciated, I encourage you to raise up your eyes and go forth and have a look around planet Earth. There is better quality of life outside of the West. There's better quality of life outside of the West. And with that, I say happy Father's Day. For those of you that actually had a decent church service today, I say happy Father's Day. For those of you that spend time with your family, with your wives, and with your children, I say happy Father's Day. If you have access to your kids, I say happy Father's Day. But anyway, look, let's get on with it. So we're going to look at the first property now. And I want to say this. Do check out my previous live, right? Do check out my previous live all about Father's Day. And also at the beginning of the last video that I did today, I do want to say again, once again, rest in peace, RIP to our brother, Kevin Campbell. 1 year below me at school, played for Arsenal football team, played for Everton football team, played some games for England as well. I just heard literally today that he died of complications relating from a stroke, of sepsis. So, Kevin basically was a year below me at secondary school, a Henry Thornton School, Clapham Common. He grew up in Brixton. I was born in Brixton. My nursery's just behind Brixton Police Station. My primary school's in Brixton. My grandfather lived in Brixton. So I'm a Brixton boy as well, at heart, right? So I just want to say RIP to our brother, Kevin Campbell. And I say our brother because, when you grow up in our part of Southwest London, everybody knows everyone, right? So RIP Kevin Campbell, great football player. Enjoyed beating his year group at school. Good to see that he and 2 or 3 other guys from that school went on to play pro football. A lot of guys could. A lot of guys had the talent, rather, but not necessarily the focus to go and do it. So RIP to our brother Kevin Campbell. Anyway, look, let's get on with this. So what we're going to be doing, let me bring the map up so you can actually see where we are going to be looking, right? So we're going to be looking at 5 or 6 properties in the Accra area. And as I'm bringing these up, I do want to repeat to you as to why we're doing this, right? The idea of this channel, I want to repeat it. The idea of this channel is to assist men in general, black men in particular, and to encourage black men to be looking around planet Earth for quality of life investment, and to communities that value black men, don't talk down to black men, that actually respect black men, And the idea is for us to find some place on planet Earth with that we can actually sow our time, effort, resources, and money into, and get some sort of respect back the other way, right? That is what the channel's about. That's what the channel's about. So for me, I'm focusing on the African continent because that is where that's the place and space that I want to sow the rest of my life into. Yeah, and again, for you, it might be Asia, someplace in Asia. It might be the Caribbean. It might be South America. And I do capoeira, so I've got a genuine tie with Brazil and Bahia, especially. Right? Never been, but I will go. But anyway, don't want to go too far off track. So you could see the first area there that we're looking at. Right? So let's have a proper good look at that. Now, the first property is going to be in a place called, I can't even pronounce it, and I hate butchering names, but I understand that to be Terciado. And I know that my pronunciation is going to be completely off point, but that general area is where the property is, all right? So that is only, and you don't have to, I don't know why, maybe that's 90 minutes by car to the airport, right? But I'm sure there's got to be another way to get to the airport without going all the way around there. But it's only 19 minutes. All of these properties are in and around ACCRA, which is, just in case you don't know, is the capital of Ghana. It's the capital of Ghana. This particular property is probably about a 5-minute drive, maybe, from the famous Labadi Beach. And one of my eldest brothers was there about 4 weeks ago with his wife. Went to some music festival, and they stayed at a hotel near Labadi Beach. It was the first time to Ghana, and they completely loved it. They completely loved it. So I'm glad they went. I'm really glad they went. Okay, so let's drop that down. And what I'm going to do, I will bring up the first property. I will bring up the first one. Let's do this one, shall no, let's do the other one. Yeah, let's do this one, the one we were just talking about. So, and let's drop it in. Come on. Let's drop it in. There we go. All right. So what do we have here? Okay. So this property is £94,000, which is around about, I think it's about 105,000 USD, something like that. Okay. So let's look at what you get for 94,000 British pounds. All right. Now, remember, this is all about Airbnb-ing it when you're not living in it. Right, so it's got to be fairly central. 2, the facilities, the property has to be decent, and 3, it can't cost you an arm and a leg, and it's got to be easy to maintain and manage. So this property basically has got a sort of big kitchen area that doubles as if you like, call it a lounge if you want. Now remember, these are all studios and 1-beds. And this looks like it's an off-plan property, meaning, for those of you that don't know, it's not actually been built yet. So you get a decent shower WC area, quite small. But you know what? Remember, these places are for Airbnb in it, or living in when you're just relocating to Ghana and thinking of buying or building a house, buying a bit of land. That's what this is all about. Yeah, but definitely being able to make money out of it when you are not there. That's what this is all about. So it's about making money. Remember, you could remortgage your place wherever you are in the West or the UK, and if you're worried about scamming and all that kind of stuff, do go and look at my not the last stream, but the one before that specifically deals with buying land and buying property safely, all of that kind of stuff. And it's just, it's not legal advice that I'm giving you there. It's just the kind of things I would do. Does that make sense? So go and have a little read of it. And, the emphasis is always about doing your own due diligence, never parting with any money at all, unless it's through a bona fide registered solicitor that operates in your country and the country in which you want to buy a bit of land or property in. So hopefully that is crystal clear. I'm going to keep saying it. I will keep saying it. Anyway, this one, it's a fair size. That's a double bed. get AC, and I'm pretty sure this is off plan, but we'll check it. We will check it. What's going on here with the pictures? Here we go. So that's what the building looks like. You get a swimming pool. It's a 3-story building. Yeah, 3-story building. Now remember, these places are not huge, but remember, it's a 1-bed stroke studio flat, right? That is what it's all about. That is what it's all about, okay? So you basically get 1 bedroom and a kitchen area that looks pretty new. That is what you get for £94,000. Let's have a little read. So security service, pool, gym, private parking. Experience the One Africa Properties difference. No viewing fees, double commission. So it's, listen, when you go to Ghana or any country on the African continent, sometimes these guys, these estate agents try to charge you viewing fees. Every time I've been out there to view property, any one of them that want money for viewing, I just basically just move on to the next estate agents. There's loads of them. Don't pay any money to view anything. I say it again, don't pay any money to view a damn thing. Nothing at all, right? So where it says no viewing fees, just don't even have that in your brain. And here's another little trick. Get the estate agent to come and pick you up at your hotel, wherever you're staying. If you're staying in an Airbnb or a hotel or a guest house or whatever, get the estate agent to pick you up where you are staying and drive you to wherever. If they don't want to do that, delete their number, get another estate agent, just go with someone else. It's that simple. Yeah. And I've probably not said this on previous streams. Organize all of your viewings from when before you travel. Ring them up or WhatsApp them and organize all of your viewings before you travel. Do that. Yeah, do that. If you're wondering where to get estate agents' numbers from, just get them off the internet, literally. So before I went to Ghana, to Accra, to view property, on all 3 occasions that I've been viewing properties, last 3 times, I've organized the trip, the itinerary, the viewing of land and property, literally from the UK. So the first one might be 9 o'clock, the second one might be literally 9:30, and so on and so on and so forth until you get tired, right? And then what it is, wherever the previous viewing finishes, get the next estate agent to pick you up from the main street. Yeah, so that's the best way to do it. It's the most economical method of doing it, all right? Double commission, so no viewing fees, double commissions. I have no idea what that means, but basically, yeah, anyway. Or price markups, just clear and upfront terms. Nothing is ever clear and upfront. So when you go to Ghana or any country to buy land or view land or property, just make the assumption that everybody is on the make and the take. Just make the assumption. Just make the assumption. Walk out thinking that, and you'll be all right. Yeah. And I have no problem with somebody making money. Right? I have no problem with somebody making money. That's not the issue. The issue is conning and scamming. That's really the issue. And just paying more money than what you need to pay. You don't get rich by spending money. Actually, let me rephrase that. You don't get rich by spending money unnecessarily. All right. Anyway, service charge 75 USD. Says something there about commission, 3% commission. This is to the agent. Yeah, bedrooms, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 2 garages. I don't know why you need 2 garages, but anyway, air conditioning, cooker, washing machine. These things all come in the apartment, and actually that's actually quite good. So within that money, so in other words, as soon as you buy it, you can just put it out on Airbnb to rent. Cooker, washing machine, refrigerator, microwave, garage, roof terrace, swimming pool, security service. So this one comes ready to go. It looks like you just need to put a bed in, table maybe, sofa, just real basic stuff. right? So the idea is to buy it and turn it around, get it on the Airbnb market, and start to earn money from your £94,000 investment. It's as simple as that. And remember, when you go, you stay in your apartment. It's a jumping off point for you to explore not just Ghana, not just Accra and Ghana, but the rest of the African continent. That is what it's all about. Begin to reorientate your brain, guys, and your mind to another place. That's what this is all about. Yeah? That is what this is all about. That's what this is all about. Remember, it's about finding a wife who wants to stay married, or just a life doing business. Listen, if the Chinese find Ghana and Africa in general financially attractive business-wise, right, then there's a reason for it. There's a direct reason for that. Yeah. So, you know, if they're taking advantage of it, I think we should too. And so anyway, so this is a decent one. So you saw where this was. You can basically see the amenities there. There's the name of one agent there, One Africa Properties. This website is called mikwasa.com. There's loads of them, but I think this is a good one. This is one that I always use. You can just basically just call them there. Just call them straight off the website. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So there you go. 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 So hopefully that one interests somebody. Hopefully that one does interest someone. Right. Okay. Let's bring our next one up. Right. And the next one. Let's have a look at this one. This one is in East Legon. Right. The famous East Legon. Okay. Now, East Legon, for those of you that don't know, is bang in the center of Accra. And it's a lovely area. I've stayed, me and the wife have stayed in East Legon. It's completely lovely. Yeah, gorgeous area. East Legon is, you know, one of, if not the premier boroughs in Accra. Yeah, let me just find the actual apartment. Just make sure I got it right. Bear with me. It's the problem with having so many tabs open. Let me get it right. Let me get it right. That one. All right. Let me come back here. Do that. Let's get this right. Let's open the right tab. Yeah, there we go. Right, okay, so you can see that. Good. So okay, again, this is a one-bedroom apartment for sale. This one's going for $1,653,000 Ghana cedis. Let's see how much that is in pounds and USD. It's going to be slightly less than the last one. Okay, so this one is 87. Just round it up to 8, or round it to the correct figure. 86.5 thousand British pounds, which is around about 95,000 USD, I think. You can do the calculation yourself. So that's 86,600 British pounds. What do we get for that amount of money? What do we get? Now, this is a nice one, I think. You can already see there's a swimming pool, right? The rooms are big. I think this is better than the last one. And remember, this is East Legon, right? You can already see the toilet there. Looks to be brand new built, pretty much brand new built. And this one has already been built. This is a nice apartment, I think. Bearing in mind this is East Legon, the fixtures and fittings look nice. Yeah, that is a big size room. So you get a big size kitchen area, and really a big size lounge area as well, which is over there. This is completely unfurnished. Gorgeous ceilings. I love the way they do their ceilings. Right, so this is a big. That is the washing machine, so you can gauge how big this floor space is. And remember, this is East Legon. This is East Legon. Looks like you get a separate, no, that's the shower area there. So let me just look at that one more time. So yeah, that's the shower area there. It's got glass, that's why I couldn't see it properly. It's got a glass shower door, if you like, toilet, hand basin, all new, modern. This is a gorgeous place for the money. This is nice, and you get a swimming pool. Now remember, with all of these, there is a so guest washroom, swimming pool. So maybe has it got? I think it's got 2 bathrooms in this place. Anyway, Wi-Fi connection. All right, 120,000 USD negotiable. So my price adjustment, from pounds to USD was completely off. I think. Apologies for that. Registration fee 100 Ghana. 100 Ghana is nothing. Commission to the estate agent 5%. That's a lot, I think you can negotiate that, to be honest. Or just, you know what? Just go straight to the seller. Go straight to the just cut the middleman out. Go straight to the seller. Then you won't have to pay the 5%. So what do we get? What are the amenities? You get air conditioning, a cooker, washing machine, fans, refrigerator, microwave, internet, swimming pool, security service, backup generator, and a water reservoir. Those 2 things are just in case the water gets cut off or the electricity goes, and it does happen. Let's be clear, right? All over the African continent, now and again, right? In different African countries, the frequency of power cuts may vary. So, hence the backup generator and the water reservoir, just to be clear about that. All right. But again, this is a good apartment. This is a good apartment. This is a good 1-bed apartment in a brilliant area. You're not going to get a better area than East Legon. Very close to the airport, completely central. I've stayed in East Legon, and really it's a lovely area to stay in terms of things to do, bars, restaurants, all of the above, music. It's a great place to stay. And if you ever get a chance, do go and stay in Ghana, in Accra, over the New Year period. Over New Year's, honestly, Accra is a brilliant place to stay. Go and do it. Go and check it out. Go and check it out. I mean, Mombasa, Nairobi, any one of these cities you'll have the time of your life if you do it over New Year's Eve. But anyway, that's another conversation. But this is a brilliant one. And again, all of these properties are on mikwasa.com. All of these properties are on that website. And I just want to add, I'm getting no commission for doing this. One day I might. What this is all about is just really trying to inspire Black men who live in the West, trying to inspire Black men that live in the West to raise your eyes up and try to understand that there's life for you outside of the West. There is life for you outside of the West. You don't have to stand the gaslighting during Father's Day at church, like I heard today, completely ridiculous, right? You don't have to sit and listen to all people basically trying to make you out to be less than. You don't. You can go and find a life elsewhere, which is what this is all about. I want to make it clear, all right? Part of it is just finding a place to live. And if you've got 2 pennies to rub together, this is for you. This live is for you guys. This live is for you, all right? So that was a 1-bedroom apartment in the heart of East Legon. That's what it looks like. It's got swimming pool, and it's just a nice area basically. Would be nice if they had not had the fence in there. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know why they did that, but anyway, one of those things. Right, okay, so let's drop that one down. Let's remove that one, and let's go for our next property. Let me cut that. Let me stop that altogether. Okay, whoops, let's Get rid of that and let's stop that altogether. Right, okay, let's look at our next property. Let's look at our next one. All right, let me queue that one up. Let's queue this one up to there. Right, that looks like it's all set. Right, okay, so the next property is airport residential area. The next property is in the airport residential area. And as it says on the tin, airport residential area is literally right next to the airport. So this next property, let's drop that in, would make, and I mean, all of these would make ideal Airbnbs, so coming from a business point of view, every single one of them would make an ideal Airbnb. But this particular one, as I said, is airport. You can see it there, airport residential. It's a 1-bed apartment. This one I think is off plan, but we will check. Right, okay, 1,599 Ghana CD. So let's check how much pounds and USD that is. Very quickly, let me do this. So what I do, I just bung it into a currency converter. Yeah, so this one is 84,000 British pounds. Let's see how much USD that is. I got in trouble for not doing this last time, so I will do it now. Whoops, that's wrong. Let me do this. Whoops, let me do this properly. Right, okay. That. Right, so let me. Right, okay, so that's 106,000 USD. 106,431 US dollars. All right, that's how much that one is in USD. Let me put it back to pounds. And in pounds, that's 84,000 pounds. So for 84,000 quid, what do we get? Let's have a look to see what we get for 84,000 British pounds. Right, okay, so we get, it looks to me to be, just make sure. Yeah, so this is an off-plan apartment. And as I've said before, guys, buying off-plan in Ghana, I mean, me and the wife stayed at a place called Embassy Gardens, right? And that was in a place called Cantonment, which is right slap bang in the middle of Accra, right? We went to see it when they were just finishing, I think, the last phase. And that place is beautiful. We went to see it, but for some reason, do you know when you see so much that's so cheap, it's like being in a candy store, right? So we left Ghana. I didn't put an offer down on anything. And then the following year, we went back and we stayed at an apartment, a studio apartment in that same complex. And honestly, you could go and check. Have I got any on this channel? If I'll put some video up from that we took when we stayed at MC Gardens. And honestly, we kicked ourselves that we didn't buy something at MC Gardens. The studio apartments, I think, had all gone by that time. They were going for 60,000 USD, or was it 60,000 pound? I think they were going for 60,000 pound, which is dirt cheap, right? For what it was. Bearing in mind that they rent really easily on Airbnb because of how central it is. And then they had, we looked at a 2-bed. Was it a 2-bed? We looked at a 2-bed, I think, and we looked at a 3-bed, which was slightly more expensive. Personally, I didn't really want to go for the 2 or the 3-bed. I only look at 1-beds and studio flats, simply because studio apartments, because of how easy they are to put out on Airbnb. They're cheap, you can remortgage it. Raising the money to buy it cash isn't that difficult. And of how quickly you can just bung it onto Airbnb and get someone in and just start earning money from it, But anyway, where you miss one opportunity, guys, there's always another one. Don't rush into buying anything, no matter how good it looks, right? Do your due diligence. I'm going to keep saying it. Anyway, right, so you can see the pictures here. Just go through the pictures. And again, I'm sure these are all artist impressions. Yeah. CGI, whatever you want to call it. Computers are brilliant these days. Right? I'm pretty sure this is just an artist impression. Yeah, so you get a gym, swimming pool, gorgeous pool. Now, remember how much this costs. God, how much is that? £84,000. Look at the pool that you get, and that's airport residential area. Yeah, very difficult to do better than this. That's the layout, and I think you get. Let's just have a little check. Yeah, so you get two layouts, right? Two different layouts, right? So this is the first layout that you get. Hopefully you can see that. So you get a bedroom area, a dedicated bedroom area, bathroom, shower, hand basin, that's an ensuite, kitchen, L-shaped kitchen, and a sort of little dining room for a four-seat dining table, and the sofa area as well. That's the entrance. Does not look like you get a balcony with this, but maybe with the other one. Maybe with the other one. These might be these are the room dimensions. Let's move on. Right, this is the second one. Slightly different layout, bigger bathroom it looks like to me. Just a different layout really, but that looks to me like a bigger ensuite. Yeah, I'm sure this is a bigger unit with a door coming out to the main area and a door to the bedroom. I can't compare the measurements. I mean, you know, if you're going to watch this back, you can jump back to the measurements for room layout, for the first room layout. These pictures are not very good, but I'm pretty sure this is a off-plan buy. Let's have a little read of the information. Okay, so right, so that's the, just check that. Right, okay, so don't know why it says starting price 159,000 USD, because that's not correct. I think that's meant to say Ghana cedis, but anyway, in fact it is meant to say Ghana cedis because that's Ghana cedis. So that's wrong, it shouldn't be a dollar sign. Anyway, let's read. Introducing a fresh perspective to luxury living in airport residential area. This development is perfectly situated just minutes away from the airport, yet occupants are assured to enjoy a peaceful and green, and a green surrounding. This development, effortless, blah. I'm not going to read all that. You can read it. I'm going to get to the bits that actually mean something rather than blurb. Let's read from here. A solid textured horizontal plinth provides counterweight to two elegant vertical structures that border beautiful gardens and pool, comprising of two structures. So there's two buildings basically. I'm not going to read all that. You read it on your own. With a prime location near the airport, stellar guest amenities, concierge, brilliant. I love reading that word, concierge. That means that any old people cannot just walk in off the street. They have to deal with security, all right? And the resident cafe, which again is brilliant. So this place has got a swimming pool, concierge, and a cafe. And when me and the wife stayed at Embassy Gardens, that place had all three as well. Beautiful. These properties are an ideal buy-to-let investment, driving strong short and long-term tenant demand. Absolutely. The North Rise offers only apartments with light-filled interiors, expansive views, and immaculate finishing. These properties provide beautiful homes with excellent on-site facilities, including access to the stunning rooftop lounge with skyline views and excellent investment for owners or investors prioritizing long-term rental. So what do you get? Other facilities include a pool, gym, communal gardens, rooftop lounges, reception, 24-hour security. That's the concierge that we read earlier. Access control, 24-hour FM hotline. Don't know what that means, but anyway, sounds good. Backup utilities. I'm assuming they mean a backup generator and water. And the cafe. So this place is, I'm going to say, this place is brilliant for the money. And remember, this is about keeping it rented out on Airbnb. You may remember a while ago, we looked at how much you could get from Airbnb. We're talking about £50 a night to, I would say, around about sort of £75 a night. 50 quid a night to around about £75 per night, which is good. So if you've got this place rented out non-stop, right? then you're gonna make some money out of it. Basically, £50 a night, 7 nights. That's £350 if my maths is correct, and that's £50. That's at the lower end. That's at the lower end. £350 per week. So if it's £75 a night, great. And now remember, I reckon you're more looking to get sort of £70 a night because it'd be a brand new built property. Yeah. So that is a good investment. That's a good investment. And remember, you're going to be staying in your apartment when you are in the country. Yeah. You're going to be staying at your apartment when you're in the country. Yeah? You don't have to do no hotel or nothing like that. You're going to be staying in your apartment. Yeah. Okay, that's a lovely one. Again, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove that. And what we're going to do, we are going to go for the next one. We're going to go for the next one. Hopefully this is of benefit to you guys. Hopefully it's of benefit. Let me get rid of that. Let's get rid of that altogether. And let me bring up the next one. Right, so we've looked at that. We've looked at that. How many have we looked at? We looked at that one. We looked at 3, haven't we? So let's bring this one up. Right, let's bring that one up. Cool. Right, the next one we're going to be looking at again is the airport residential area. Wow. So that's 2. I didn't even realize this one was airport residential as well. So yeah. And again, remember, literally your airport residential area is bang central in the middle of Accra, right next to the airport, in the nicest part of Accra. So let's bring this in. Let's get the right one. There it is. And let's drop it into the stream. Right, okay, so hopefully you can see that. Yes, you can. Right, okay, so this is a 1-bed apartment for sale at airport residential area. This is going for, what is that? 1,487,000 Ghana cedis. Let's see how much that is in pounds. Let me drop it into my little converter. Right, okay, so this is £78,000, right? 78,000 quid and that's 99,000 USD. So that's 99,000 USD in pounds. That's £78,000. All right. So what do we get for the money? Again, this is off plan. All right. So you get an apartment in a decent looking block. Now remember, this is all, this hasn't been built yet. They may have broken ground and they'll probably give some information about it when we read. In the best area, check out this artist impression. Hopefully they'll have a layout as well for us to look at. Right, so that's what it basically looks like. That's what it looks like. Yeah, let's have a little read. Oh, God. All right, so let's have a little read. Ain't that better when you're talking into the mic? Hilarious. Ain't that better when you're talking into the mic? All right. So hopefully, let's have a little check. Right. Okay. So what does it say here? What does it say here? Right. So, okay. So bedrooms, you get 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, obviously a garage, 30 meters squared, amenities, air conditioning, cooker, microwave, internet, garden, garage, swimming pool, security service, generator, water reservoir, right? Airport residential, security service. Right, so I'm going to make an assumption that is a can't pronounce the word properly, concierge service. Yeah. They really need to put more information. It's a little bit annoying when they don't put a good amount of information on these profiles, because how are you meant to really make a choice about this, right? And I know it's an off-plan building, but they could definitely write more, put more artist impressions up. This is going to be a great building, right? But they just need to load up the internet with more than this. That's really what they need to do. Anyway, let's read this. ACCRA is a 6-level apartment complex located in the upscale airport residential area in Accra. The building consists of different units ranging from studios, 1-bed, 2-bed, 3-bed apartments that offer a competitive price to space ratio, a high value return to buyers and investors, and the most ideal living experience for residents. The living conditions in area are carefully designed to promote health and wellness by embracing all elements of biophilic, I have no idea what that means, design. That is a new word for me, biophilic. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that word right, design. ACCRA welcomes you with consciously designed living spaces. I have no, you know what, ChatGTP must be writing these things. Has to be, because that doesn't, in my opinion, that doesn't flow. Anyway, right, so doesn't really tell you a lot. The price is good, the building's going to be good, right? The only thing that's missing from that, I know you get a swimming pool as well. So you get a concierge, you get a garden, garage, security service, backup generator, and water reservoir. I suppose the only thing that's not there is is like a cafe or a restaurant on site. That's the only thing I cannot see here. That's the only thing I can't see. But listen, because it's airport residential, as soon as you step out of this place, there's going to be decent bars and restaurants and all the rest of it locally, right? So this is a good area. You know, airport residential area is where politicians live. It's where, you know, you're going to get people that have got money, famous people, and all the rest of it. They all live in this area, right? So it is definitely a decent area to live in, to buy an apartment in. All right. So yeah, brilliant. All right. So that is that one. Let's drop that down. Let's bring up our next one. God, we're rattling through these, which I think is good. Right, let's bring up our next one. This is a nice one. This next one is a lot cheaper, but I think it's actually nice. All right, so it's in a place called OSU, OSU. So let's look at where this is on the map, all right? And then I will bring it up so you can see it. In fact, let me bring up the actual map now. All right, let's bring up the map now so you can see the map. There it is. And let's drop it into the stream. Let's drop it in. So what I'm going to do, let's, so I said OSU, didn't I? ASU. There it is. Ghana. There we go. That's with an O. All right, so hopefully, have I spelled that right? Let me just check. And let me check. Right, OSU, correct. Right, so OSU. Let me just do that. Right, okay, cool. Right, so hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can. Let me make it decently big. Right, so you can see I've just put as if you're coming from the airport by car. That's 14 minutes by car. Right now, as you can see, this place is near the beach as well. Right, from there to there is probably about a minute walk. Right, this is Kwame Nkrumah Memorial. So basically, this is just outside the center of Accra. Just outside the center, you've got the famous Labadi Beach here. So all of this is really walking distance. Really, the whole lot. I mean, you could jump in a car, but really, it's walking distance. Yeah, it's not a great big massive sort of distance away. Yeah, you can see that. That's a close-up. So what we're going to look at is in this area. All right? So with that said, let me drop that down and let me bring up the actual building. There it is. Let me bring up the actual building. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. And let me get the right one, which I think that is. Cool. All right, let me drop this in. So you can see that now. Okay, so as I said, this is at Osu, if I'm pronouncing that right, and I'm sure I am. This is a one-bedroom furnished apartment. So you're getting all of the furniture in this one. This is an off-plan. Again, most of what I show you are off-plans. One, because they're cheaper. And two, I'm looking for this, quite specific amenities. So it's always going to be a swimming pool, preferably a cafe or restaurant on site, concierge, which is security, and maybe a creche, gym, basketball court, something like that, parking. Those are the kind of things I'm looking for. Because remember, this is all about Airbnb in it, putting it on booking.com, making money out of the apartment while you are not there, while you're looking to relocate to Ghana, Accra, or any country really. I think that's a decent formula. That's the whole idea. When you're in the country, you can then think about buying land, overseeing the building work, learning how the country works, all that sort of stuff you can do while you're there. All right. As long as you can work remotely, you can earn money, or you can begin a business, start a business when you're there, when you're actually on the ground, all of that sort of stuff. All right. But anyway, let's continue looking at this one. So you can see what the building's going to look like. I'm not sure if they've broken ground on this yet. Let's just go through the artist impressions. All right. Now, remember, this has not been built yet. These are all artist impressions. So that's a rooftop. That looks like, no, are these balconies, or is that a rooftop communal space? I think it's a communal space. So it's a decent looking building. You can see a swimming pool there. Bit of a distance from the this whole thing. You got a car park there, and you got a swimming pool over there. It's not terrible, but I think that'd be better if it was situated nearer to the building. But I suppose it's at least you got a pool. That's a nice interior, generally speaking. Now, remember, this one, if my memory serves me correctly, said that the furniture was actually in the. You get the furniture. We'll come and read that, but I'm pretty sure I read that. Yeah. So decent fixtures and fittings. And remember the cost of this, wasn't it £78,000? Right, let's have a little read. Seize the opportunity to be a proud owner of this exquisite apartment located within the heart of Osu, Accra. Have the convenience of moving around central business district. That's what that part of Accra is. Now selling off plan. The starting price at 85,000 USD for a studio. Oh, right, okay, which is brilliant. So a studio is even better. That £85,000 is going to be about, that's going to be about 69. No, it's going to be about 70,000. No, about early 70s anyway. Early 70s in terms of pounds. The starting price at 85,000 USD for a studio. Also available are one and two bedroom suites. This could be the best investment opportunity you've been waiting for, especially for persons looking to have Airbnb apartments. Right, let's carry on reading. Right, so sort of 3% commission. Registration fee 50 Ghana cedis. Bedrooms 1, bathrooms 2. I don't know why you got 2 bathrooms in such a small place, but anyway. Amenities: air conditioning, cooker, washing machine, microwave, internet, cable television. In Ghana, across the African continent, they use something called DSTV. Swimming pool, generator, security service, water reservoir. Where did I read that the furniture was included? Was that my imagination? Maybe that's was that on the last apartment? I can't remember. I could have sworn I read somewhere that the furniture was included. Maybe that was the last apartment we looked at. Maybe it was the last apartment that we looked at. But yeah, this is another good one. This is another good one. Great area, Osu, just outside, well, it's the business district. Not too far from Labadi Beach. And you're getting some good amenities for the money. That studio at apparently 85,000 USD. Let me see how much pounds that is. Let's see how much 85,000 pounds is. Let me see how much 85,000 pounds is in terms of so 85,000 USD is. Let me do that little while I'm on here. Oops. 85,000, right? So, oops, 85,000 pound. Let's put the USD in there. Wow, so that's 85,000 USD is 67,000 pound. I wish I could do the currency conversion in my head. 67,000 British pounds, right? For this is brilliant. Brilliant. That, guys, listen, if you're in the UK and you're watching this, if you're going to watch this on the replay, right? 67,000 pounds for this, right, is brilliant in terms of an investment, in terms of an Airbnb property. If you could get a studio in this building, you're laughing. You're laughing. This is a decent, this would be I mean, the only thing that's missing from this website are the studio floor plans. It'd be good to see the floor plan, but it's going to be quite small, right? Okay, so the estate agent's name is Vintage Yard Masters Limited. And just remember, these people are not going to be the sole agents for this building. The way it works in Ghana is similar, I think, to the way it works in the States. Anybody can try to sell any apartment. The owner, the developer, would simply do a deal with whoever brings a client to buy. Does that make sense? That's the way it works in Ghana. Okay, but anyway, this agent, if you want to use the agent, is Vintage Yard Masters Limited. Or you could do your own research, find out who the developer is, and just go straight to them and cut the agent out of it if you want to. All right. But anyway, this is a brilliant one. This is a great one for the money. For the money. For the money. Yeah. So 1-bedroom apartment. How much was that? £78,000. A studio, if you can get it, £67,000. Very difficult to do better than that. Very difficult to do better than that. Very, 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 very difficult to do better than that. Yeah. So far, maybe that's our winner. So far, maybe that is our winner. I'm not sure. Maybe it is, but that is a brilliant property. That one is a brilliant property. Right. Okay, so let's move on without further ado. Let me just make sure that, okay, so this is the last one we're going to look at, and it's the cheapest one we're going to look at as well. It's off plan. It's in a place, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, do forgive me in advance. It's in a place called Oyarifa. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you where it is. I am going to show you where it is. If I put that in, all right, okay. Let me just get the, let me just make sure. I'm just trying to get you. There you go. Oh, come on. Right, okay, so this place is, let me just bring up the map. Let me bring up the map so you can actually see what I'm doing there. All right, there it is. Okay, so the next property, hopefully you can see that. Let me get there. I have no idea why it's not letting me, let's try this again. Right, okay, so anyway, so that is where this one's a little bit further out, not a lot further out, but a little bit further out. So this is 30 minutes. This building that we're going to look at in a minute is 30 minutes from the airport, which is, you could say that's a bit of a drive, but it's only 30 minutes. I mean, 30 minutes is not really that far. It's not really that far. So this is 30 minutes. And can you make sure you can see that? Oh, you're not, I mean, apologies. I'm not even added that to the stage, right? So, okay, so now you can see it. All right, so 30 minutes, that's the airport, yeah? You drive through East Legon, that gorgeous area that we've been telling you about. And what we're going to look at in a minute is out here. But just remember, it's just 30 minutes. Now, I just want to say this as well. At the moment, ACCRA is really, ACCRA is really, I would say, a 20-minute radius. That is really ACCRA. During rush hour, a hell of a lot longer, more like about 45 minutes, right, to go from the airport out in any direction during rush hour, right? But the truth is, from the center, ACCRA is probably only about 15 minutes, 15 minutes. This city is going to get a lot bigger in the next 10 years. It's going to get a hell of a lot bigger. If you go to places like ACCRA, it's a building site. That's what it is. And it's whenever you see that happen in any city that's a building site, that's the place to invest, because it's going to be a completely different place in 10, 15, 20 years' time. That is always a sign of whenever you see cranes and stuff being built, that is the place you want to invest in. That's just my personal opinion. It's about getting in there at ground zero, always using your due diligence, using your common sense, using your brains, learning the market, not jumping in, not parting with your money, all of that stuff, using a solicitor, all of that stuff. You obviously, should I say obviously? I think I should say obviously. All of that stuff you should be looking to do, but right, ACCRA is a growth area. Ghana is a growth area right across the African continent. Most African countries, forget about what you see on television and Western negative media. No, Africa is growing. It's growing. It is growing. But anyway, that is where we're looking. We're looking up here, right? We are looking at a place somewhere around there. So let me drop that down. If this Mac allows me, let me drop that down, get that out altogether, and let me drop in this new property. Let's drop it in and make sure we get it right. Make sure I choose the right one. It's that one. Okay, so now you can see it there, right? So you can see it's going quite cheap. This one's cheap, right? And I think it's cheap because it's 30 minutes out and it's a studio flat. It's going for 405,000 Ghana cedis. So it is cheap. This one's cheap, right? All right, let me, I'm just going to go into the currency converter to check out how much that is in pounds and USD. All right, so 405,000 Ghana cedis. Come on. All right, let me just see if I can type it. There we go. So how much is that? So I just want to make sure. I will check if I've actually got this right. So 405,000 Ghana cedis. Let me just check that I've got that right. Yep. And just to say, it's at a place called Romana Heights, a studio apartment for sale. So this is £21,000. Right? So it's cheap. So for £21,000, what do we get? Now, I just want to say this, as an Airbnb, would somebody want to drive 30, because you'd have to do it by Uber. Would you want to have to get into an Uber and go 30 minutes from the center of Accra back out to your Airbnb? every single day. But that is why this one is so cheap, right? But, you know, if for the money, let's have a look what you get for the money, right? Let's have a look what you get for the money. Let's go through it. So anyway, you can see you get a swimming pool. And again, this one's off plan. So you get a decent sized pool. This is the layout, right? So you get a, you know, decent kitchen area. You get a dining area. You get a lounge area, bedroom area, a balcony. You get a balcony and a shower room. So this is a decent layout. Let's go this way. That's an artist impression of the shower room. Decent, looks decent to me. That's the bedroom. All right. That's the exterior. It's a decent exterior. So, and that's all you got. Why don't they give you more? I don't know why they don't give you more, but anyway, let's have a little read. Hopefully you can see that. Let me check. Yep, you can see it. Right, okay, Ramona Heights is a collection of 26 modern studios, 1-bed and 2-bedroom apartments and penthouses, beautifully designed with everything you need in a home, plus a little extra, a stunning rooftop pool, amazing, and a rooftop gym. This is a decent house. This is all right for the money. I don't know what that means. Perfect for young people looking for a first-time home to call their own. Set in a private gated development, we've also thrown in the security features you need. And did we mention the beautifully cooler climate of Ramona Heights from the nearby mountains? You're talking about the Abri Hills, I think. Abri in itself is gorgeous, so we're going to do some streams looking at Abri at some point as well. Located in tranquil Ayafara, Ramona Heights is built to the high specification you'd expect from a Signum home and packed with all the modern design features you love. Ayafara is a modern, well laid out suburb in the northeast of Accra, the very northeast of Accra. Served by an excellent road network, Ramona Heights is off the N4, opposite the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Junction. It is conveniently located near the Abri Mountains. There you go, the Abri Mountains, the eastern region, Tema, and the Volta region. Off-peak Ramona Heights is just 25 minutes drive from Tete Koshari. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Sorry. Within or near Ayafara, you'll find everything you need: shops, shopping malls, restaurants, bars, schools, nurseries, hospitals, pharmacies, and of course, the beautifully scenic Abri Mountains. It's lovely there, by the way. Gorgeous. That is a gorgeous area. So maybe it is good for Airbnb because Abri is beautiful. Each apartment comes with or has access to porcelain tiles throughout, fitted kitchen without appliances and equipment. So basically, you got to buy your own cooker, fridge, and all the rest of it. That can be a bit of a drag, basically, you know. But anyway, it's not an insurmountable task. DSTV and internet connections, cabling and piping for air conditioning, meaning that you got to put your own air conditioning in. The cabling is there, but you've got to put your own air conditioning unit in. You can get an air conditioning unit for about £300. All right. So basically, what you get here is the bare bones of the building, and you've got to kit it out yourself, which is going to be, realistically speaking, you're talking about a couple of £1,000. Right. It doesn't have to be a couple of £1,000, but I would simply add onto whatever you pay for this apartment, just add a couple of £1,000. Yeah. Residence rooftop gym, residence rooftop pool, residence parking area, lift, electric fencing and CCTV cameras, 24-hour man security, facilities management. right? So you get a security guard. Doesn't look like you get a concierge, but you do get security guard. You can further add to your apartment with our deluxe options. So you just add on to it. So you get the bare bones, which is cheap, and then you add on to it, which comes with fully fitted kitchen, fridge, stove, microwave, and exterior. Oh, right, okay, fitted wardrobes, air conditioning units. This is the bit, right? Right, I'm understanding this a bit better now. Choose the apartment that works for you on the ground, first, second, and third floors. So studio basic, 34,000 now. Oh, what's the date today? So, okay, wow. So the price is 34,000 USD for a basic studio, but at the moment it's 27,000 USD until the 30th of June. Wow! So you got 2 weeks to get it at 27,000 USD for a basic studio, which is maybe that's where that £21,000 comes from. That's where that £21,000 comes from, right? But anyway, that's just for another 2 weeks, guys. So whoever's going to watch this, if you want this place right at that price, it's before the 30th of June. Okay, a studio deluxe starts at 37,500, but just 30,000 until the 30th of June. So with all those mod cons and all the rest of it, right? It says the deluxe option. So if you want all the mod cons and all that sort of stuff, and if you don't want to do it all yourself, then do it now and get it at 30,000. We'll get it £7,500 less. Yeah, that's what you stand to save, £7,500 if you do it in the next 2 weeks, which is not really possible. But even 37,500 is brilliant for what you're getting. And again, I want to stress it's that amount of money. If this was an apartment at or in Airport Residential or East Legon, it would be double or triple this amount of money, in my opinion. Yeah, you're 30 minutes out of airport, 30 minutes away from the airport. That is why it's that price. Yeah. What else about this do we need to read? We know that it's got a balcony, fully furnished. No. And then it shows you a 2-bed in the same building, a 1-bed in the same building, and that's it. So this is actually a decent one as well. This is a decent property. This is a gorgeous property, man. Now, remember, why are we doing this again? I just want to quickly go over that. We're doing this. This is all about men, black men in particular, beginning to think about finding better lives outside of the stress of the West. Living outside the West comes with a different stress. There's stress anywhere you're going to live, but at least you're not going to be, let's just be honest about it. At least you're not necessarily going to be racially abused. At least you're not necessarily going to be disrespected daily by the women. At least you're going to hopefully find a community that's worth you sowing your time, energy, and resources into. And I think a lot more. Yeah, and I think a lot more. Cost of living is less. All of the above. Yeah, all of the above. So that is why we're doing this, guys. That is why we're doing this. It's not necessarily just to look at property, although I love property. Right? I could look at property all day, but it is about affording ourselves, beginning to talk about the possibility of finding a life elsewhere. Now, you may want to rent, and that's fine, but for the amount of money these buildings cost to buy, why rent? Why rent when you can earn money out of a building like this, and when you're not even in the country? Why rent? That doesn't make sense to me. That does not make sense to me. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me anyway, right? That was brilliant. That was absolutely amazing. That was an absolutely amazing building. That was an amazing building. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do, right? I think we're going to go some extra time. I think we are going to go some extra time. And what I think, because we didn't look at the agent for that last one, did we? Let me just quickly look at so the agent for that is, the last one we just looked at is Signum Development. I did mention it, didn't I? Signum Development is the developer. What I will start doing is giving their number. I won't do it now because I'd have to go and try and find locate the number. But you can find their number on the internet. Signum Development, right? So as long as you put that somewhere into the in the Google search engine, I'm sure it will come up. I am sure it will come up. All right. Okay. I'll tell you what we're going to do now, right? We are going to go to a different country. It's not on the thumbnail, but we got time, man. So I think we're going to go to a different country altogether, and we're going to go back to Kenya. We are going to go back to lovely Kenya. Specifically, we are going to go to Mombasa. Now, listen, I have never been to Mombasa. All I've done is a whole load of property research on the web, and I've spoken to a few of my friends that have been to Mombasa over the years. And personally, I've heard brilliant things about Mombasa. Different place to Nairobi. It's in Kenya, obviously, by the coast. Mombasa's by the coast. Again, we're going to be looking at apartments. I was going to do this on a separate stream, but this place is brilliant. Mombasa's lovely. And the cost of these apartments, man, I have to talk about it tonight. The cost of these apartments, got to talk about it tonight. So guys, listen, right, as we go through these next 4 apartments, I want you to begin to, how can I say, use your imaginations about the type of life you can have in some of these, living in Mombasa. As long as you can work remotely or start a business or something like that, or just have this as a place that you escape to when you're good and ready, and then put it on Airbnb. For the amount of money these apartments cost, you're going to see that it's well worth it. You're going to see it's well worth it. So in no particular order, what I'm going to do, I am going to bring up the first Mombasa apartment, right? I am going to bring up the first Mombasa apartment. Let's bring this one up, all right? So let's drop it in. Let's drop it in. Oops. All right, let me drop it in. Right, here we go. Right, okay. Right, so this is an apartment in Mombasa. Let me just, well, you know what? No, Mombasa's in Kenya. Do your own research, right? Go onto Google Maps. If you're not sure where Mombasa is, right, just type in Mombasa in the Google search, like I'm doing now, Mombasa, Kenya, right? And have a little look at it. I tell you what, all right, let's do that now. Let's do that first, all right? It's probably worthwhile doing that first. So let me do it for you. All right, so I am gonna stop sharing that, and I am gonna bring up the map. Right, so hopefully you should be able to see that now. Yep, you can see it. Okay, so that is where Mombasa is. It's in on the coast, right? Yeah. That's where Nairobi is. That's the capital of Kenya. Yeah. Uganda, Tanzania, Somalia, Ethiopia, South Sudan, DRC, Malawi. This is East Africa, obviously. And this is where we've just been looking. We've just been looking here, right there. And we're flying all the way over to lovely Kenya, Mombasa. All right. This is where we're looking now. Now, Mombasa is basically a holiday hotspot, which basically makes it great for Airbnb. You know, that's the bottom line of it. Let us have a little, if we can. You know what? Let's actually see if we can. Let's just see if we can. It's going to let us. Just really, really quick. This, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay, so this is what Mombasa looks like. I mean, obviously it's a big city, so I'm not going to waste too much time with this. But do go and do your own research. You know, you can easily obviously just get out the Google map and just have a good look around, which is what I tend to do a lot of, or go onto Google Earth and have a look at where you're thinking of going on Google Earth. But I mean, this is good enough, really. Right. So that's Mombasa, and do it yourself, basically. This is Mombasa Beach. Again, have a quick look at that. There's loads of pictures on the web showing you Mombasa Beach. Basically, as I said before, it's literally a holiday hotspot. Yeah. Give you a bit of an idea. Holiday hotspot. That's that is really all it is. Yeah. The sands look to be white to me. The sands look to be white. God, look at that. That is a gorgeous picture. That's just a nice picture. So what we're going to do now is we are going to look at, I'm going to leave that there. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at the first property. Let me drop that down for a minute, what we were just looking at. Let's stop sharing that. And let's bring up the first property really, really quick. All right, let's bring up the first property. Share that. Drop that in. Right, okay. So this particular property is it's a one-bedroom apartment, flat for sale at Enyali. Right now, it's going for. They have the shilling. They have the Kenyan shilling. Right, so this is going for 4,200,000 Kenyan shillings. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Right, let's find out. Right, you're going to see that it's not. Right, okay. So let's look for the Kenyan shilling. All right, let's just do that. All right. Oops, spell it right. Spell Kenya right. All right, here we go. Right, okay, so let's paste that in. Okay, so what we're about to look at is £25,600. £25,600. All right, so this place here, £25,600. Property in Kenya is cheaper than it is in Accra. Property in Mombasa is cheaper than it is in Nairobi, right? Cheaper than it is in Accra. This is a one-bedroom apartment, all right? I'm wondering if that's a bit of a mezzanine, a floor up that we're looking down on, that enables us to look down on the main area, but we'll hopefully find out. So this area, this apartment basically is slap bang on the beach, right? Just want to say that. And this has already been built. This is a nice apartment. All right, so what do you get in this apartment building? Coral Sands Residence is proximate to all the essential amenities such as healthcare facilities, 5-minute drive to the Premier Hospital, shopping centres such as Nayali Centre, City Mall, 5 minutes drive away, education centres such as Nayali Primary School, restaurants, 5 minutes walk to the public beaches, recreational parks, 30 minutes drive to the airport. So it's central. Coral Sands Studio, 1 bedroom for sale, Nayali. Coral Sands Studio, 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom for sale in Nayali. This project is ongoing residential complex in Nayali, Mombasa, 2nd row from the beach. I don't know what that means. I don't know what 2nd row from the beach means. So look, I don't know a lot about the Kenyan property market. So all of this is all about you doing your due diligence. All right. All I'm doing is looking at how much these properties are going to cost you. Right. So I'm in a complete learning process when it comes to Kenya. All right. Definitely when it comes to Mombasa. Mombasa's 2nd row from the beach, enduring the spirit of luxury, success, and affordability, off-plan prices. All right, so this is an off-plan bill. This isn't finished yet. Studio apartments, Kenyan shillings, 4.1 million. 1-bedroom apartment, 5.7. So the one we're looking at is 4. Did I say 4? Is it 4? Yeah. Right, it says there 4.1 million. So that's the one that we are looking at pretty much, right? Which, how much did I say that was? That is 25,600 pounds. So it's cheap. All right, so you could go, oh God, let me drop that in. So apologies for that. I didn't have it even dropped in. So this is what I was reading, right? So so you could afford to go for a bigger property, a bigger apartment. You could afford to go for a bigger apartment, right? The studio is it's up there, isn't it? 4.2 million, right? That's what that's meant to read, I think, right? Here it says 4.15 million. You could go for a 1 bed if you wanted to. That's still cheap. Even a 2 bed is still cheap. Payment plan, 20% deposit. Balance to be paid over the construction period, again, which is quite normal. Studio apartment, 450 square feet. 1 bed apartment, 700 square feet, and so on and so forth. What did I say? 1 bed apartment, 700 square feet. 2 bed apartment, 1,100 square feet. Penthouse, 2,500 square feet. Features high-speed lift, ample parking, surveillance cameras, 24/7 security, fully equipped gym, swimming pool, restaurant, mini market, management offices, laundry services. This is a brilliant property. Brilliant property. This is exactly what you want in a rental, in an Airbnb property. So for that layout, right? So for £25,600, you get all of that. You get all of that. And remember that money, that 24,000, was it 25,600? That was for a studio. So, you know, it would only just imagine what you get for 50,000. You know, personally, I'd just go for the little studio. That's what I just go for. You could easily do that, just lend the money or remortgage your property in the States or the UK to buy it. But that is a good investment. What I will do in the next stream, I'm not going to do it now. What I will do in the next stream, I will look at Airbnbs in Mombasa in terms of what you can expect to rent it for. I will do that because that's always useful. That's the end that you start at, and then you do your sums backwards, if that makes sense. But this property is good. It's a lovely building. What we will do is just look at how much money you can expect to make out of it per, you know, for a night, for a week, for a month in terms of Airbnb. We will look at that as well. But I'm impressed with this one. Look at that swimming pool. That is lovely. Brilliant building. Artist impressions, but gorgeous. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful building. Just buy what, just one of these as a studio on Airbnb. Brilliant. Yeah. Restaurant, second row from the beach. I'm assuming that means maybe there's a row in front of you, maybe, but who cares? Ample parking, swimming pool, gym. This is a brilliant build for the money. This is unbeatable. As long as the Airbnb figures stack up, right? This is brilliant. I've got to say, as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to be looking at Mombasa in the next stream. I just wanted to do one now, just so that we could have a little look and begin to think about it. But no, this is a brilliant property. So guys, listen, remember, all right, why we're doing this. This is about investing in other countries, beginning to organize our relocation to another country. That is why we're doing this, right? That is the primary reason why we're looking at properties in other countries, beginning to take our heads out of the West, beginning to think about investing elsewhere, at least, spread bet. What you can do, what I mean by spread bet is move some of your investments to other countries, have bank accounts in other countries, not just in the States, not just in the UK. No, spread what you do to other countries. Begin to spread your wings, guys. You're not tied down, and don't let anybody gaslight you into thinking that you've got to stay. You have to stay, in your tiny little part of the West. For what? For what? For what purpose? For what reason? If you've got a family, if you've got children in school, fine, I understand that. Yeah, then you may have to stay, unless you want to relocate your children to maybe an independent school in another country, which, as far as I'm concerned, is completely fine. Honestly, if I was to do it all again, I would relocate my son. I'd relocate my family to another country and stick him in a international school. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Seriously. Listen, what I want to do now, but quickly before we pack up, I want to do this, right? I'm going to bring up the map one more time. I will bring up the map one more time. There we go. Let me drop that in. I just want to have a look at Naya. Was it? I don't want to mispronounce it, as I always do, right? I want to Nayali, that's it, isn't it? Nayali. So I want to have a look at Nayali, right? So let me just make that map a little bit smaller. So if actually not small, I've got to make it a bit bigger, haven't I? So there is Nayali. So basically this building is in this area. That's what it is. It's in this area. All right. Let's take our little man. See if we're going to get lucky when we do that. All right. I just dropped it down randomly. I just wanted just to show you what some of these places actually look like, or just what Mombasa looks like. Because Africa gets bad press, right? In Africa, apparently, all the children have flies on their faces, and there's always some sort of strife and famine and war. This is the kind of nonsense, right? This is the kind of propaganda that's spread, right? Now, the reality is something different. And don't get me wrong, you have got war on the African continent. In some places, you have got famine, but Africa is huge. Africa is a big place. And sometimes people forget that the African continent is massive. It's big, right? So, this is the thing that people need to understand, that it's a big place. It's a huge place, that cannot be underestimated. It's big. Right, let me see if I can do this. Whoops. Just want to show you. I mean, this is a holiday area. This is a touristy holiday area, make no doubt. But this is the area where you'd be buying that building. All right. This is the area where you'd be buying that as a building. All right. So these are all holiday resorts pretty much, and nice houses. And maybe we should look at houses in this area as well. You know, that might be a good idea to look at houses in this area as well. Yeah. Oops. Whoa. I don't know what's going on there. Just see if I can do this. On it. Oops. Don't know what's going on there. What is that all about? Let's have a quick look at this. You know, Kenya's a beautiful place, man. Mombasa is beautiful. And I understand this is a tourist area, but it is gorgeous. Do you know what I mean? The whole place is beautiful. Just see what other types of pictures we can see here. There's no people there. Someone's just taken photographs of the actual anyway, there's loads of pictures there if you want to trawl through those pictures. But you know, do your own research. This is honestly the way that I do a lot of research. I want to stick around here. I do a lot of research like this, all right? Because it's easy to do. But anyway, that building, that apartment is in this particular area, Nyali Beach, a well-known area, tourist area. That is why it would rent really, really well on Airbnb. Hopefully you can see that. Just make sure you can actually see what yeah, you can. All right, that's why it would rent really, really well on Airbnb. Yeah. Now, remember, from a business point of view, which is what this is all about, tiny layout, decent returns. Yeah, that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. To be honest with you, you could probably buy 2 or 3 of these, but you know, just start off, you know, just buy one to begin with and go from there and just see how it goes. If it doesn't work for you, sell it. But you know, in all these things, do your own due diligence, do your research to ensure it works for you. Yeah, to ensure it works for you. This website is called, let me just check out give you the name of the website again so that you know. It's called Property24. What I will do, I will put a link to all of these properties in the description as well. Okay, I'll put a link to all of these in the description as well. I'll put a link to all of these in the description as well. All right. So let me stop sharing that. Okay, listen, I've been here 1.5 hours. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you go. Do subscribe to the channel if you've got this far and hit the bell. That last one was about Mombasa. I'm going to be doing more streams about apartments in Mombasa. Right, and I'll put a link to all of the properties that we looked at in the description as well. And guys, listen, do join us for the next one. I will stream again on Wednesday, and I will chop some of these up and put them all up so you can check them out individually. So thank you for joining us on this stream. Have a good one and take care.